What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and this video, I want to talk very briefly on Cyberpunk 2077, give a little bit of an update to it. Two things, actually. Number one is the game is out in the wild. Now, I saw even Angry Joe tweet at that and was like, what? So the game is out there. I guess different publications have this game. It makes sense, I guess, in a way where if the game is going to take, say, 50, 70, 80, I mean, I'm just guessing numbers because the second part of this news update thing is the developer actually playing part of this game. If the game takes that long to play, I mean, I guess you could get the thing out there as quickly as possible. I mean, right now it's still like 2.5 weeks away. If the game has been out in the wild for a couple days even before this, like 3 weeks before, makes sense. The game's gone gold. It's done. We've talked about it before, right? They're just working on that day one patch. But a couple things there. Well, number one, again, you got to beware of those spoilers. So I'll be flat out honest with you. Cyberpunk's an interesting game to me because I'm very, like, as of right now, I'm more excited for that game than, like, any other. But with that being said, I'm Alex. I am a weird person. What you have to understand with me is my excitement for games kind of goes based off of which game is closest. So, like, Cyberpunk is the biggest game that's closest to me. I guess there's like Immortals, Phoenix Rising. There's a game called Twin Mirror from Don't Know. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. I'm excited for those games. I'm going to play those games. But, like, Cyberpunk is that game. But I'm excited more or less to just experience the world. The story, obviously, is an important thing. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm not the most afraid of being spoiled. Another thing that commonly happens is I will either get spoiled inadvertently or I will spoil it for myself on purpose, whether it's for video content stuff, whether it's just because I'm curious, or honestly, because I watch a lot of different channels on YouTube, whether it be kind of dissecting different things in like film and games, and like my phone's YouTube recommended is a lot more like spoilerish things. I don't even know how that's possible, like what I've gone on my phone to like make it do that. I do get spoiled quite often from those things, just like basically scrolling on YouTube. But, however, I should say that for people that are, scared about that stuff, I would start staying away relatively soon. Not necessarily from my stuff. For just to clarify, too, I know this is like a news channel. I'm not really going to cover the game like super hardcore. I'm going to do it on Podcast Now, not on this channel. So, like, if you guys are watching this and you're worried about the Podcast Now stuff, rest assured there'll be very distinct, like, you'll be able to tell if it's going to have spoilers. But just so you guys know, again, game is out there. People are now playing it. Now, if the game is like 100+ hours to beat, we're not going to see spoilers for quite some time. But I would imagine, it comes out December 10th. I would easily imagine that week, like starting off that week, that Monday, we would start to see a lot of stuff if we didn't already see it. Okay, so that's just kind of a public service announcement. And the second thing, something I just found as well, is I guess a developer for Cyberpunk is like test playing the game, or is just currently playing it or whatever, and they've put in 175 hours into the game and they're not done. That is I would say outstanding. That is insane. That's probably a better, I would use that word to describe it. Again, more of like a personal story with me is like, man, oh man, I have a lot of trouble playing open world games because I truly, ask anybody around me, I truly do try to do everything. So like Horizon, I beat it. I actually went back. It took me like 3 years to do it because I actually just beat Horizon this winter time. I went back, I restarted it. But man, I put like 40, 50 hours into that game. And then realistically, did I have to? No, I could have taken an easy way out, could have just done more of the story stuff. But I tried to do everything, any challenge, any side mission, any random event, specifically for each game. I tried to do it. Ghost of Tsushima, for some reason, it took me 60 hours even almost to platinum. I platinum Ghost of Tsushima. So I did everything. So I know those games aren't the magnitude of The Witcher or, what Cyberpunk is going to be. But, like, that's why I've had such a hard time even with The Witcher. The Witcher is such a hard game for me to play because I try to do literally everything, and I can spend 20, 30 hours in that game, and I won't even touch the main story, which the main story is actually pretty long, right? So, the thing with Cyberpunk is, though, that it's a smaller game. Now, they've talked about how it's more, and remember, we've talked about it on this channel, it's more dense. It's a more condensed world where everything is closer together, so it's not as big, like, map size as The Witcher. Now, I don't remember if they've talked about content. I've always assumed it would be similar length of, like, doing everything in the game to The Witcher, or maybe slightly less. I don't remember anybody claiming The Witcher takes almost 200 hours to beat, though. That's the thing. Like, we're talking about Persona 5 levels like, Persona 5 takes about 100+ hours to beat, which, by the way, is just not even, it's not even fair. That's why I haven't beaten that game either, right? It's just way too long for me. One day, I honestly hope to beat all of these games. But, yeah, I mean, seeing that kind of scares me because it's the developer. Who knows? Maybe he's staring at a wall for like 30 hours. Like, we don't know what he's doing, right, in the game. But if it really does take 100, 125, 150 hours to do everything in this game, I mean, okay, I guess I'm just never going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? I really want to beat the game, but I mean, like a side goal for me whenever I do open world games is like, if you beat it, you better have done at least the majority of everything else. And I will be telling and that's just a problem with my head. I just need to punch myself really hard to get that out. But that's going to be the case with Cyberpunk, where it's like, I don't really feel comfortable if I just run through the story and that's it. Not enough. That's not enough. I need to be able to do a lot more than that in the story. Yet again, maybe 175 hours. He's talking about playing it multiple times. He's talking about doing different dialogue decisions and taking it. And because, again, the whole thing is like he didn't experience everything. So maybe he's played it a couple times, but he still hasn't seen everything there is to see. I would say that's more like it. I'm not looking for any length of time for this game, to be quite honest with you. I would be perfectly content for like a 30 to 40 hour game. Like, that's it. And there's no way that's what it's going to be, because, again, Ghost of Tsushima took me like 55, 60 hours to platinum it. This game is going to be much bigger. So I'm looking at probably, if I want to do everything, I probably am looking at like a 50, 60, 70, 80 hour game, which is incredible. I'm going to have something to play over the Christmas, period, here. It's going to be probably the game I play the most, if not the only game I play up until when Hitman comes out towards the end of January. So I'm all ready to go. So, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? How long do you think this game is going to take to beat? Are you going to play it for that length of time? Again, be wary of spoilers. Just kind of recap this video. But let me know what you guys want to talk about in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.